Many years before comic book adaptation feature films were a dime a dozen, screenwriters writing for the small screen often turned to the pages of daily newspapers for inspiration. In the mid-20th century, comic strips like Buck Rogers, Blondie, Dick Tracy, and Dennis the Menace were often transformed into weekly TV series. One of the most beloved adaptations from the 60s was the black comedy TV series The Addams Family. This lighthearted macabre sitcom, based on the comic strip created by Charles Addams, debuted in 1964. The creepy, kooky brood has been with us ever since. One of the factors that made the series so memorable was its phenomenal cast. Join us as we pay our respects to the Addams Family cast members who have since passed away. Allyn Joslyn, Sam Hillard. Throughout his somewhat prolific career in TV, radio, film, and theater, Joslyn often played snobbish, wealthy aristocrats. On The Addams Family, he played Sam Hillard, a truant officer who was extremely frightened of the family. He also ran a private school that employed Gomez for a spell. In one episode, it's revealed his middle name is Lucifer. Joslyn died of a heart attack in Los Angeles on January 21, 1981. He was 79. Parley Baer, Arthur J. Hansen. Baer is best known for his portrayal of Chester in the syndicated radio version of Gunsmoke. He also notably played the mayor of Mayberry in The Andy Griffith Show. Throughout his career, he appeared in dozens of television, film, radio, and theatrical productions. On The Addams Family, Baer played Arthur J. Hansen, an insurance executive and politician who lives in the town where the Addams family lived. After suffering a stroke, Baer passed away at age 88 on November 22, 2002 in Los Angeles. Hey, if you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to Facts Verse for more. Eddie Quillan, Joe Digby. After making a name for himself as a child actor on the vaudeville stages and appearing in numerous silent films, actor Edward Quillan went on to have a pretty thriving career in TV, primarily doing bit parts and supporting roles. On The Addams Family, Quillan portrayed an insurance clerk named Joe Digby, who worked for Arthur Hansen. Eddie later played another minor character named Clyde Arbogast, Arthur Hansen's assistant, in the episode Gomez, the People's Choice. Quillan died of cancer in Hollywood on July 19, 1980, at age 83. Margaret Hamilton, Granny Hester Frump. The character of Granny Hester Frump, the mother of Morticia and Ophelia, and grandmother of Pugsley and Wednesday, was a witch and an old friend of Grandmama Addams. She was played by actress Margaret Brainerd Hamilton, who was best known for her iconic role as the Wicked Witch of the West in The Wizard of Oz. Before she was an actor, Hamilton was a schoolteacher. After working as a character actor in films for several years, she finally landed her career-defining role in Oz. She went on to make frequent cameo appearances in TV shows and commercials. She continued to work as an actress until the early 80s. Her last credited role was in the made-for-TV film Pardon Me for Living in 1982. Hamilton died in her sleep after having been diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease on May 16, 1985, in Salisbury, Connecticut. She was 82. Felix Silla, Cousin It. Silla was born in Abruzzo, Italy. After training as a circus performer, he relocated to the U.S. at age 18, where he joined the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey circuses. He was a man of many talents and was quite agile. His work as a trapeze artist, tumbler, and bareback horseback rider eventually led him to Hollywood, where he found work as a stuntman, first appearing in the 1963 film A Ticklish Affair. Some of his most notable roles included that of Litvak, the miniature Hitler in the 1975 comedy The Black Bird, Tweaky in the TV series Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, and various other parts in offerings like The Towering Inferno, Battlestar Galactica, and The Hindenburg. He also played an Ewok in Return of the Jedi. On The Addams Family, he played Cousin It, a character who was essentially a giant mop of hair topped with a bowler hat and decked out with a pair of sunglasses. He spoke rapid-fire gibberish that only the Addams Family could understand, although it should be noted his voice was provided by Tony Magro. Silla died of pancreatic cancer at age 84 on April 16, 2021. Carolyn Jones, Morticia Addams, and Ophelia Frump. The matriarch of the Addams family, Morticia, was played by actress Carolyn Jones. This was without a doubt her most prominent role, but she went on to take roles throughout the 70s that were a bit less memorable. Morticia and Gomez's chemistry was undeniable. Their dynamic clearly set the mood for the entire series. When she was young, Jones suffered from severe asthma, which put a damper on what kinds of activities she was able to do. She often found herself reading, and one of her favorite things to read were Hollywood gossip magazines. That's how she caught the acting bug. Jones landed her first noteworthy role in 1953's House of Wax. That was the same year she got married to her second husband, Aaron Spelling, who was a budding filmmaker with aspirations of making it big. They divorced 11 years later in 1964. In 1958, Jones was honored with an Oscar nod for her role in The Bachelor Party. Just a few years later, she landed the role of Morticia in The Addams Family. After that show wrapped, she went on to play characters like Marcia, Queen of Diamonds in Batman, and Myrna Clegg in the CBS daytime soap Capital. Jones died of colon cancer in Hollywood, California at age 53 on August 3, 1983. Jackie Coogan, Uncle Festor. Coogan was an actor and comic who got his start in show business as a child, appearing in silent films. In fact, when he appeared in Charlie Chaplin's 1921 film The Kid, he became one of the first child actors in Hollywood history. Not surprisingly, he was also one of the first Hollywood child stars to be exploited by both the industry and his parents. He made history and set a legal precedent when he successfully sued his parents for squandering his earnings. This case led to the state of California enacting the first legal protection for the earnings of child stars, the California Child Actors Bill, which is also referred to as the Coogan Act. His portrayal of Uncle Festor, Morticia's wingnut uncle in the Addams Family, helped bring new life into his career. He went on to make regular appearances in films and TV right up until his death. His last credited role was in the 1984 film The Prey. Coogan died of heart failure in Santa Monica, California on March 1, 1984. He was 69. Ted Cassidy, Lurch and Thing. Known for his immense stature and deep booming voice, Cassidy often found himself playing unusual and offbeat characters in fantasy and science fiction TV shows. His most memorable role, however, was Lurch, the family's loyal butler. He also played Thing, or at least his hand did. Cassidy died on January 16, 1979, at St. Vincent Medical Center in L.A. He ultimately died of complications of the condition acromegaly, which is what caused his immense height, deep voice, and distinctive facial features. Acromegaly often causes heart issues in its sufferers. Cassidy was only 46 when he passed. Blossom Rock, Grandmama Addams. Rock got her start as an actress on the vaudeville stage before transitioning to film and TV. She came from a musical and theatrical family. Her younger sister was actress and singer Jeanette MacDonald. Her most notable role was that of Gomez's mother, Grandmama Addams, on The Addams Family. Her character was a witty witch who often whipped up spells and potions and could gaze into the future with her crystal ball. Rock had a stroke shortly after production wrapped on the second season, which left her with a speech impediment that prevented her from rejoining the cast for the 1977 Halloween reunion special. She passed away January 14, 1978, at age 82. Ken Weatherwax. Weatherwax was an actor who was best known for his role as Pugsley. Previously, he'd played Porky on the first few seasons of Lassie. After the Addams Family ran its course, Weatherwax joined the Army. He later reprised his role of Pugsley for the 1977 Halloween Addams Family reunion special. He spent the remainder of his career working as a film studio grip and set builder. Weatherwax passed away December 7, 2014, after having a heart attack at his home in West Hills, California. He was 50. While it's always sad to learn that a dearly beloved star has passed, it's nice to know that John Astin, who played Gomez Addams, and Lisa Loring, the actress who played Wednesday Addams, are still alive. Now it's time to hear from you. Which one of the Addams Family was your favorite? Let us know in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts Verse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.